Hi, everybody. This is Jackie Hansen with Be Present Wellness. I am so thrilled to be here with Stephanie Tsai. I met her about a year ago at a women's event, and she did this exercise with everybody. And so I decided to take it home and do it with my family, and it was pretty amazing. My whole family was really amazed with the results of it. And I'm just so thrilled that we can have this opportunity to have her here now. And she's going to explain about this really interesting book. It's a subject that we all need to really understand about ourselves and how our relationship with money and any kind of abundance really dictates our relationship with everything else. Every relationship that we have with other people and subjects and our work or all of that is really very important to create this awareness. And so she's here with this 6-day program, 6 weeks really. And we're really excited to have you here. So please share a little bit about you and how did you begin, working with this book? And
Well, I am absolutely delighted to be here, Jackie. This is one of my favorite subjects. I was first introduced to this work by my friend, Dr. Maria Nemeth, who wrote the book, The Energy of Money. I saw her presenting, oh my gosh, 2003, I believe, at a international conference, and she was up on the platform with 6 other internationally known speakers, and her energy and her presence and her subject matter just leaped off the stage at me, and I thought, I want to learn more from this woman.
wow.
And I want to learn more about this subject. And what she was speaking about that day was her book called The Energy of Money. One of the questions people always ask me is, is this about financial planning? And I say no. It starts out talking about the energy of money, but really it talks about just energy. We look at multiple forms of energy because we recognize that we're energetic beings. We are energy. And we start with money because, as Joseph Campbell once observed, it is the most congealed form of energy. Interesting choice of words, but it's true. It's an energy that we can touch and we can hold on to, and we can earn and we can use and we can invest. So we start with the energy of money, and then we branch out into many, many different areas of energy. And as you said brilliantly, how we do one thing is how we do everything. It is probably one of the foundational principles of this work. And so we look at our relationship with money. We do, if you like the exercise we did at Women of Intention, wait till you. We have so many exercises and so many tools that we learn. But we do one called Your Money Autobiography.
Oh,
it is great.
wow.
It really, really invites us into that place of observation of how are we with money, and then of course with every other form of energy.
Wow, that sounds fascinating.
It's
So
great.
how did you come about the book?
Just through Maria, and then I actually am a certified, credentialed life and organizational coach, and I did end up studying with Maria. Shortly after I met her, she founded the Academy for Coaching Excellence out in Sacramento, California. And I was one of the first classes. I was one of the first groups of coaches to go through, and so really have just a real training in this work, and I think one of the other coaches at the Academy observed that I just took it into my DNA. I just fell in love with this approach to life and approach to energy. And so I was credentialed, I was certified through the Academy, and I credentialed through the International Coach Federation.
How
And
cool.
the ICF, yes. Yeah, it's kind of a deal, actually. I'm very proud of it.
And we're so fortunate to have you here. And it's so amazing that this happened in the beginning as you went into a coaching career. How did that help you construct your life? Because it feels like it was a tool for sure in how one can construct your life and shift your awareness to everything around you, really, and really hone your energy to what you want to attract and how you want to
Absolutely.
interact with it. How did that?
Absolutely. Before I became a certified and credentialed coach, I was also an ordained interfaith minister. And I really saw in my ministry one of the challenges that people had was, I'm going to use the word reconciling. I don't know if that's quite the right word, but reconciling or integrating their spiritual beliefs into their daily lives. And many times they would compartmentalize, I'm a spiritual person at this event or on this day, and then the rest of the week I'm just, quote, me. And what Maria's work does so beautifully is help us to recognize that it's all us. We are spiritual beings having a very physical experience, right? And so the tools that you learn through the energy of money, the tools that you learn through studying your relationship with money and all the other energies really helps you to show up in the world as that fully integrated, fully aware, awake, alive, alert, enthusiastic being. I don't know how ministers do it without these powerful tools, and honestly, I don't know how we human beings can really show up as joyous beings without some of these tools.
I could totally see that. And so tell me more about these tools and how they can help people, and possibly if you can give us some examples of some of the people that you have been working with.
Absolutely. Well, let me share one of my favorite definitions, and this comes straight from Maria. And it's a really neat definition of success. So often, Jackie, we think that success is about quantity, right? It's about more. One of the things I have really learned over the last 20 years is some of the times when I've been happiest in my life, it's when there's been less. When things have gotten simpler and quieter and sweeter. So Maria's definition of success is this. She says, success is doing what you said you would do consistently with clarity, focus, ease, and grace.
That's profound.
Just hearing that, don't you kind of go, all is well, right? Success is doing what you said you would do consistently with clarity, focus, ease, and grace. And so, really, in a nutshell, in the brief time we have today, the tools that you learn through this amazing work help you get clear. You get clear about who you are, about what's important to you, and then about what do you want to do about that. We create these amazing goals and we do all these exercises and we go away on all these retreats and, workshop junkie, right? And we get really excited and enthusiastic about who we are and all these great things we want to do. And then we come home and we put that notebook on the shelf and we don't do anything about it. So we get really clear about who you are and how amazing you are, which I believe is the exercise that you took away.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then we get clear about what's really important to you. Really, when all the flotsam and the jetsam and the clutter and the debris are swept away, what's left and what's really important to you? And then what do you want to do about that? What do you want to create in physical reality? So we learn tools to do that. We learn how to focus the energies that we've been talking about, the energy of money, the energy of our creativity, the energy of our relationships. Don't we want our relationships to just be sweet and loving and authentic and real? We learn how to do that in this course. And we learn how to, well, okay, I'm going to bring Jesus into it for just a second. We learn how to speak the truth in love. We learn how to tell the truth, but in a kind and gentle way, in a way that it can be received by ourselves and by others. And then finally, we learn how to be grateful. We really practice gratitude as a skill. It's a skill to be developed and practiced. And it can totally turn your life around when you can move into being grateful for everything and everyone that shows up on your journey. So we learned that and so much more. It's so rich. It's so full. It is It is the favorite class that I teach. And I mean that in two ways. It's my favorite, study to do. And it is the one class that consistently fills up and that people ask me to teach over and over and over again. Because after they take it and it changes their life, then they want their friends and their family and a lot of times their wives or husbands to come and take the class.
It's important to be on the same boat.
Absolutely, to really be on the same page and have that same understanding.
That's beautiful. And how can that transform people's lives? Can you give us a couple of examples?
Well, I've actually had more than one couple come to me and say, this book and this work and this study saved our marriage.
Wow.
Seriously,
That
that
is
is
huge.
wow. I have goosebumps because
Wow.
it's I get verklempt. I mean, when people come and say that to me, and what I recognize is this work helps them to not only get clear about how magnificent they are, but how magnificent one another is. We actually teach a specific way of seeing one another that
that's
has the
profound.
capacity to transform your relationship.
How exciting.
It is
wow.
just, it is the best. It's the best.
That's
every time,
amazing.
and every time I get into this work with people, every new group, I learn something, and I am just blown away by the wisdom that emerges, when you create that space and you teach these powerful, life-changing tools. I mean, people just emerge as really the heroes that we all are.
So I can imagine that once people learn this powerful model, how can we support them? How can we hold space for them so that they can continue evolving? Because this is it's life, really. It's life skills that we're working with here.
It is, and it's interesting. As a coach, one of my favorite things to do is to facilitate what we call coaching group. And the coaching group evolves out of these energy of money classes. In fact, it's a requirement to be in coaching group that you've either coached with me privately, because I do teach you these tools, or that you've taken the energy of money. And that goes back, Jackie, to what you were just talking about in relationships, when you have that common language, that shared experience, that foundation. That's what creates the amazing miracles that happen in coaching group. So that does evolve out of these book studies, out of these energy of money classes, and it is a way that we continue to support one another using the tools, using the clarity, focusing the energy together. And it's there have been some folks that have been in these coaching groups that have brought dreams into reality, that they have been thinking about, visioning, dreaming about, according to some people, like decades.
Wow.
And because of the power of these tools, and because of the power of the support in the group, because we really cheer each other on, and sometimes, nudge each other on a little bit,
And it's also,
gently yet firmly, right?
and it's also a celebration of how powerful each individual is to be
Yes.
able to
Absolutely.
co-create their new reality in whatever way it serves them.
Absolutely, and the power of positive, affirming support. Something else we really focus on when we talk
And
about.
that in itself is a skill.
It is a skill.
Yes,
It is a skill.
so important.
It's how to encourage without enabling. Right? But it's also encouraging without beating somebody up. Sometimes people hear life coach and they think, oh, you're going to yell at me. It's like, no. I'm going to empower you, and I'm going to encourage you, and I'm going to celebrate you. And yes, sometimes I'm going to, give you a little love tap, right? Right? But it's all from that energy of, I know you can do it. Well, when you create that energy in a group, it's not I know you can do it. It's we know you can do it. And we have parties.
Yes.
We do. We have parties every time
Wow.
somebody brings a goal into reality and
Wow.
makes it real. Oh yeah, any reason.
My
Coaching
Brazilian
group,
self is
party,
loving it.
we celebrate. There's always food,
That's
where
great.
one or
Oh
two
my
are gathered,
gosh,
we must
okay.
eat, right?
Wow.
So yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
That's such
So
a
that's something I
blessing.
always offer at the end of the book studies, at the end of the classes,
Mhm.
and usually a pretty high percentage want to keep going because they just see the power of it and how great it is.
Mhm. Well, if you're interested in shifting your reality and embracing your whole self wholeheartedly and lovingly and creating community, and we here at the Beehive at Be Present Wellness, we're all about the bee concept of creating community. Please join us and join Stephanie in this beautiful exploration of the self and of group awareness and consciousness. I'm super excited.
And it all starts out with the energy of money.
Oh, what a blessing. Thank you so much for joining us and have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye-bye.